In a world where man and monster lived peacefully amongst each other for centuries, a sudden event has caused these very monsters to rise against them and cause much fear and suffering. Ladies and gentlemen, we've been working all day and now it's after work. This is Coda Princess EX for the Nintendo Switch. The Kingdom of Deluxia has had its back turned by its own citizens when the Dystron army offers safety from these invading monsters with their queen's promise. The citizens open up the gates for the army to come into Deluxia, as all their soldiers have been rumored to have been mostly wiped out due to the constant monsters invading. As the army invades, there's an attack on the Royal Deluxia family's castle, where Solange, our Coda Princess, is the only remaining member alive. It's through her meeting with the thief extraordinaire Ali, she comes to find out that the kingdom has surrendered and the king is dead. With more of the Dystron army arriving to take over Deluxia, their hidden agenda to find the Deluxe Caliber, a sword passed down for generations in Solange's family, is just the beginning, as well as Solange's journey towards finding out why these monsters continue to grow rampant and fend off key members of the Dystron family. In Coda Princess, you have 3 planes to work with, top, middle, and bottom. You navigate these 3 planes to defeat your enemies in beat 'em up fashion. The game does encourage building up combos to get the most damage on an enemy using light and heavy attacks. Each character has a special skill set which you can find directly in the pause menu if you ever forget a move. This helps vary the playstyle of each character in the game's main story. Given how tricky some of the enemies can be in this game, you can also block as needed, which isn't something you normally see in beat 'em ups. If you land a successful hit using the Y button, you can lock onto an enemy and track their health for 30 seconds. Using the burst technique with X stuns nearby enemies and doubles your attack power for a limited time, which is based on your MP. However, be careful with this, as you only have a set amount of bursts you can use per stage. Although the game may identify itself as a beat 'em up, there's a whole leveling up and equipment inventory system that helps balance out your journey. You gain experience and money from completing stages, and sometimes collect some good items you can use to help strengthen up your character. How you choose what inventory to equip on your character of choice is where the unique part of this game comes into play. See, this isn't a game where you equip a piece of the best armor and call it a day. You have to be really selective with what you bring to the battlefield. Not one item is balanced to increase all your magic, attack, and defense in one swoop. Your sword may have a good attack, but may lower your defense and resistance. So you have to equip an accessory that'll counteract that and kind of not leave you at a disadvantage there. So you have to equip an accessory that'll help balance that out so you aren't going in at a disadvantage. There's a shop that opens up as you progress through the game, but you'll have to spend some time grinding to get enough money to buy these items, and I personally found them pretty pricey for items that sometimes didn't seem like they were worth picking up, unless you were doing it for completion purposes. Saizenzen did a really great job porting this over to the Nintendo Switch. The art style looks amazing, the animations look great on all the characters. The variety in the characters for the main story help freshen up replaying stages or even trying new ones. My personal favorite has been Master T. He straight up plays like one of the Street Fighter characters. It's either Yun or Jun, I can't remember. They're the skateboard dudes. They were in 3 and 4. Street Fighter 3 and 4 I'm talking about, but anyway, he's got a dive kick and I'm sold. The music in this game is on point. Although I have my complaints on how the characters sound when you're attacking enemies, this actually helped keep my mind at ease. Outside of the main story, you can go into free play mode where every character you've encountered in the game, you can actually play as and level them up just as you do with any of the main protagonists, which I think is really awesome. It's not something that you normally see in a video game where you can just straight up play as the enemies. The only qualm I had with this game is the speed of the characters themselves. This game plays slower than your conventional beat 'em up, so it's a bit of a learning curve not to mash A and B, or else you'll find yourself getting destroyed by enemies. I just wish the movement of your character was slightly faster, with a little bit of arcadiness to it. Just slightly, it would have really helped. This one's also a bit nitpicky, but from an audio end, the music sounds great, however the character voices in game, oh my god. They sound like they didn't port over as well in this version of the Switch. There's a good deal of distortion going on when in the middle of a stage and everyone's just yelling every second. The last one, which isn't so much of a downside but rather a pacing issue with the progression of the stage, is you tend to find yourself breezing through a number of stages rather quickly, only to all of a sudden be completely halted by a cheesing boss out of nowhere. And then you find yourself grinding a bit just to make sure any of the characters you're using are good to go. The bright side to all of this is that the stages are super quick, and you aren't really spending too much time grinding to get back into the mix. Overall, I enjoyed my time with this game. It's a beat 'em up. You can sit down and really hone in on perfecting each character and collecting every piece of armor, weapon, accessory, or you can just take each level in quick spurts for a few minutes. Stages don't last that long, but don't let that fool you into thinking you could beat this game in an hour. This game is easily 5 to 6 hours of just the main campaign alone, and then you have all the extra quests that have been added to the EX version, which adds more to what's going on in the story, and is why Code of Princess EX is my second Nintendo Spotlight this week. You can find it both physical and digital for $39.99 on a Nintendo Switch, and you might even be lucky enough to find a launch edition still available, which has some goodies inside, well worth the $40 price value. If you're curious about it, I have a collector's edition episode, which I'll either leave a link in the description or I'll have it annotated in this video here at the end for you to check out. This is Joe clocking out, and if you enjoyed what I'm doing on the channel, give it a like, share it with your friends, let them know what I do here, and I'll catch you on in the next video, or live over on twitch.tv/JoAfterWork. Take care, love y'all.